All right, everybody, welcome into the Bettor In-Laws podcast. The gentleman to my left, a lot of people know him, goes by the name of Joe Murray of 98.5 The Sports Hub, the night show on the Sports Hub from 6 to 11 weekdays. Joe, how the hell are you?
I'm fantastic. I am wowed by this studio.
Pretty amazing studio here at the TD Garden Card Vault Studios, hosted by Big Night Media. So this was your first time at Card Vault at the Garden. You've been at the Gillette one, and now this is your first time here. So, yeah.
I love the guys at Card Vault. I'm a big fan of the hobby. I collect a ton of cards. I collect wrestling figures.
I feel like that was recent for you, right? Over the past couple of years, something like that?
Well, I guess it really took off around COVID, but I know I got into it after, and it was great, and I just loved it, started following it, meeting more people, and here they are. I saw that they had this new fascinating studio here, but I didn't realize you guys did your show here.
Look at me. Look at us. My brother-in-law, Matt Prisco, by the way, for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is my brother-in-law.
Yes.
Matt, how the hell are you?
Doing well, buddy. How are you today?
Good, good. Now, you guys actually met once before.
Yes, I was trying to tell Joe, but you didn't let me
Well,
tell
no,
it.
because you have no radio field. You need to save stuff for the air.
It's called a teaser.
Yeah, it's
Little teaser.
Pretty much.
All right.
So it's up. So why
we've met before?
Yeah.
We have met before, Joe. So actually, right here at the TD Garden. So years ago, I had a suite for Money in the Bank. And
wrestling.
Sarge, our good friend Sarge,
Friend of
was
Sarge?
texting me.
FOS. Friend
I
of
want to
Sarge.
come up.
Yes.
I want to come up. I got the guys. I know Billy Lanny very well.
Did you have
from
a belt?
Malden. I did not.
You dressed as Hulk Hogan?
My brother.
That was
My
your brother. Okay.
Yeah,
I now remember it now.
Okay.
And so Billy Lanny, another friend from Malden. I'm
Yep.
from Malden.
Oh,
so
you're a Malden guy.
Malden guy.
Oh,
Yep.
the North Shore
So,
brothers
North Shore.
here.
What's up, Doms?
Had
There
to
we
get
go.
that in there. Of
What are
course.
we, a minute 40 into the podcast,
is,
and we get our
so.
first plug? You can't help yourself. You really can't. Go ahead, sorry.
Thanksgiving
No,
sausages.
that's pretty much the story. We had them come up, and we all watched Money in the Bank from the suite.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
I remember the night.
I don't remember you.
Yeah, that's fine.
No,
that's okay.
I remember you from calling into the Over-Under show with your weekly bets.
Yes.
The fantasy football show.
Was that? Oh,
The recently canceled fantasy football
Wait, wait, that was. I thought it was the betting show. Whatever
No.
it was.
When Tuck went solo,
When I went
he was
solo.
like, "Hey, call
Oh.
in, give a best bet."
Tuck stuck.
Tuck stuck. Yeah.
Stuck.
Pretty much. It's so, yes, exactly. So Prisco would call
hated
in.
that.
I didn't hate it. I just don't really understand it because it rhymes.
It rhymed.
Okay.
So that
All right.
worked.
Very good.
That's all we need.
Yeah, Joe and I have worked together for over a decade now, although I stopped producing this year. But yeah, I've had many a shift with Joe where we've had tears running down our faces, both on and off air, and it's an absolute pleasure that you're here with us today.
I
Because
appreciate the
I'm a
invite.
massive fan. Yeah.
Yes, likewise.
I watch you guys. I see you guys on there. I go, Better-in-Law. I love this. This is great.
Yeah, we
hey,
just started. So.
I support all people who do gambling. I've been doing gambling content for 12, 13 years.
Yeah, you're one of the staple guys in the gambling industry in terms of media.
I'm not an expert. I just like to bet.
Yeah.
That's it. And probably just like you guys want to have fun with it. You track your bets every week. And, maybe it can be profitable, but there are some guys who are like, hey, call me now. And that's not me, man. Let's have some fun. I'll bet on a coin toss. I'll bet on two dudes.
Which Dan does not like.
I'll bet if you want to put two babies on the ground and race them, I will bet on one of those babies.
Okay, so they actually do that at the Garden.
You know what else I love? You know in college football when they have the playoff, they have the Dr. Pepper challenge.
Yes.
And they try to throw those footballs.
Yes.
Always take the chest passer.
Oh yeah.
For some reason.
Okay.
And
is that the half court shot?
yeah, no. You know how how many
thing,
footballs can you get through the little hole there? But it's always chest passer, and always take the fat baby as well.
Fat baby chest passer.
Well, wouldn't that be slower hypothetically?
No, the fat baby wants to get there faster because they want to eat.
Yeah, put a fucking Twinkie at the end of it.
Makes sense.
I know that. I know that firsthand.
My kid would just go off to the left or something and, try and find something bright or something dumb.
That's why we don't bet on the fat baby.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, Matt, we don't have to do a full recap.
Yeah.
Of last week. Just give us, what were we? I was 3-2. You were 4-1. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Okay. So winning weeks for the boys. What was our percentage so far this year? Do you have that
I know that you're at 30-19-1, so that's 61%.
61%. Okay.
27-23 for me, 54% coming up though. Best bets for you 2-8. We got to talk about that because that's the one recap we have to do.
Okay.
And then 8-2 best bets.
So Joe, I am ice fucking cold on these best bets,
but hot everywhere else.
2-8.
So are you feeling them or are you reaching at them?
I have no feel whatsoever right now. No, my feel is gone. But he said my record's 30-19.
That's great. Against the spread, that's great.
But my best bets suck.
So, dude, I'm having this awful college football cold zone right now. These teams that I just think are better than the other teams, they lose.
Yep.
Like Oklahoma State's better than UCF. They got smoked.
Right.
I can't. I now have to look at just the numbers, not the teams.
How do you get out of that cold feel? Because we've all been there, but I am ice cold with best bets.
I would make it 3 to 4 bets a week instead of 8.
Yeah.
You know, like I bet the board when it comes to NFL football, but I don't bet. Like me, I'm not betting every single game.
Yeah.
I'll bet the board and
you've done that once.
Listen,
March Madness. I know that.
You heard that story?
Greatest
I got
story of all time.
smoked.
Legendary. Let me bet every single game.
But fun.
Smoked because they got me. They must have been like, Joe's going to bet every game, so let's screw him really bad. But I mean, as far as advice goes, like I do think less is best. Like 3 of your favorite picks, but also I really look at trends. Like there are people who are like, no, screw that. Dude, if teams are playing West Coast to East Coast and they struggle off of scoring 30 points, they don't score the next week. It's just a thing. And last week was the first one I got beat on one of them, the Seahawks. That line of a team at 6 at home who lost the week before, and they've covered that. Yep. The Lions did it earlier this year. Another team did it. The Rams did it recently as well. So I went back to the well. Seahawks won the game. They didn't cover.
Yeah.
So I guess I have the eye of following that one maybe to win or tease.
Right.
But damn, it's 2-1 on the year in that spot. So that was one I just went with, and it was a trend.
So I mentioned the Matt's call into the fantasy show earlier because, Matt, you're 8-2 on this podcast for your best bets. Now, if you do a collective combination between the fantasy show and this podcast, and the one variable or the constant is that it's you and me together.
Yep.
What is your record for your best bets?
We started 0-1 when I called into the Sports Hub last year for your show.
And then you ripped off like 9 in a row,
10
right?
in a row. 10 in a row to end the year.
You were 10-1.
10-1, and now 8-2. So that's a combined 18-3 in the last 21
You're welcome.
best bets.
You're welcome.
So you're killing it.
I'm okay.
Do you do other sports as well?
College football, college
he does
football.
Anything that with a ball or a puck.
True. I will do hockey. I will do basketball. I do baseball, but I don't do those well. So I really focus on college football, college hoops, and NFL.
Yeah, college hoops. I'm not even ready. I watched Kansas and Kentucky last night. I go,
God.
Not ready for this.
Anything college, I just can't keep track of everybody and whatever.
It's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, just speaking of college football, like, I'm just looking at a couple of games. Like Utah goes on the road versus Arizona. Well, Arizona had a hiccup last week.
Yep.
But Utah played very well.
Yep.
So do you go back to the well with Arizona here, or does Utah because Utah is the better team?
Yeah, I went Utah this week. I did go Utah. I already bet that game. I got +1. I took Utah.
Let me give you another one. Georgia, look-ahead game last week in a bad spot, tanked.
Yeah.
Do you back them this week versus Georgia, who's not good against the spread?
Or Tennessee, me.
Oh, sorry, Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid of Georgia right now. They look like they're rolling on all
cylinders. They're good, right?
Now. Yeah, they're okay.
What are they ranked? 2?
One now.
Okay. That's my extent of college football or college anything knowledge, really.
Yeah, there you go.
What about Clemson, North Carolina?
That's a tough one because Clemson's playing well. North Carolina is not. The last 2 games they put back on track against a bunch of shit bums.
How are you doing percentage-wise for college?
I am, I think 57%.
Okay.
Track it. I can check it out.
Yeah, he's got all fucking spreadsheets and everything, Joe.
Yeah, I'm
checking out after. But.
So I do 3 bets. I call them the 3-way bets.
Yep.
Like a 3-way beef knockoff. But yeah, so we were 61% going into last week. It's 6 bets a week, 3 in college, 3 in the NFL. But I haven't had a perfect week yet.
Right.
Like, you have a 6-0 week.
Tough to do.
I'll be peacocking everywhere I go. I'll peacock right out there.
Yeah,
tough.
Right, I'll go up the escalator too if you want me to.
Peacock.
But have you? It's what it is. I think all these books now they're all on. I shouldn't say they're all onto us, but it's so competitive now where the lines are tighter. The margin for error really is there. I mean, look at the Pittsburgh game last week.
Yeah.
A blocked extra point is the reason why the Steelers covered the spread. And how many games ended on a game-winning field goal? which also meant that the games.
What was it, 4 or something like that?
It was 4. They won by 3 was the line. They won by 4.
No. I'm saying how many game-winning
5.
Oh, it was 5 last
There were 5. The Monday night game, too.
It was a great red zone day. But
if you think about it, but what it means is the unders have been so good, right? The unders have been outstanding. Well,
60%.
Overs went 8-5 last week. So those competitive games led to more scoring. So I'm starting to look at that now. Like maybe these teams are starting to find their groove. I know some teams you're going to have to fade. The Giants, the Patriots.
That's kind of the theme I'm on this week, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying these teams, you might have to fade them a little bit. But going forward here, you're going to have to look for some teams that are now, if they've been unders like Denver, now you're going to start looking at these teams starting to get right. And really, that's the theme of the league right now. Look at what the Vikings are doing. Even Arizona might start playing better. So, are the Chargers still going to score 31 points a game? I think the unders are going to get a little hotter considering how bad the season started. And I think it's because of no preseason, the international games, all that stuff's behind the league now.
Real quick note on unders, by the way. Primetime games have gone under in 25 of 32 games, where Monday Night Football specifically, unders are 11-1.
Jeez.
I mean, that's kind of weird.
11-1.
Isn't that kind of weird?
What's Thursday? Do you have Thursday specific? Because they're all...
it's 45.5. I looked it up today. So that's a funny one. Do you guys go game by game, or am I just kind of
no, do whatever. Honestly, no, do whatever.
Thursday night's interesting.
Yeah.
2 teams off a loss.
No Thursday night bets on the show.
But we always give
Thursday night bets.
But we always give in anyways.
I'm on the Bengals.
I feel like it's the Bengals.
I bet the Bengals.
Yep.
But see where we feel it?
Is that bad?
No, I haven't looked into any of the trends. How is the Ravens off a loss? I mean, they've been so good.
Well, the Bengals, they are 15-5 against the spread in their last 20 games as an underdog, including the playoffs. And as an underdog of more than 3, they're 10-1 against the spread. Baltimore was my best bet last week. So that was 3 straight losses in a row for me for the best bets. And that one was a kick in the dick because they were up by 14 in the 4th. And I was ready to celebrate. I'm like, oh, this best bet streak is over. And they fucking blew it.
I feel like the only reason they blew it is because you made them your best bet.
Honestly, I think that's why. There was some weird voodoo going on with my picks now.
Some shit in the air for you.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's... The Bengals are approaching desperate territory right now. I don't think that T. Higgins is going to be playing.
No, doesn't look that way.
It's a must-win for the Bengals, honestly.
I think they have to win, but last week, they came back. They showed they could come back. I do think their defense is playing better, and I know they were undermanned, but I'm only going with the Bengals because I think last week was so demoralizing.
Yeah.
They
should have won that game.
They need to win, though.
Yeah.
The Ravens win. They're sitting pretty, man. And by the way, what do you think the chances of every team in that division making the playoffs, even with Deshaun Watson going down?
I think it's pretty good.
It's possible.
I think the Steelers kind of have a fakeish vibe to them, but if they keep ripping off wins, and Tomlin is really getting them going in the right direction, then yeah, I could see every
you look at
team there.
And you look at teams it really comes down to can Houston keep competing? And can they go the length of the season and get in there? You've seen Buffalo not playing as well as we all expected. Obviously, the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, that injury. Justin Herbert and the Chargers continue to be the Chargers. Who's the second best team in any of these divisions other than the 4 teams in that division?
Well, if you look at the AFC East, who's the second best team?
Yeah,
is it Buffalo?
I guess.
I think
we'll
it's the
find
Jets.
out Sunday. It might be the Jets.
I think it's the Jets. I think Buffalo is fucked.
They don't look good.
You're firing your offensive coordinator because there were 12 men on the field.
I feel like Dorsey was a good coordinator.
Look at the stats for Buffalo's offense.
DeMar Hamlin was the 12th guy on the field. You can't even get mad if you're in Buffalo, right?
What, was he?
Was he really?
Yeah.
Wait, was he the guy standing? Okay, yeah.
Guy.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Can you get mad?
No, I guess not. No.
First time he was playing.
In the great words of my colleague, Dan Lifshatz, McDermott sucks.
Yes.
He's been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think they're ruined.
I mean, look at what Trayvon Diggs is tweeting about with, he's has jabs at Josh Allen. What was the tweet? It was something like, Diggs, I don't know what it was.
Well, one of them I saw.
It was a jab.
14 needs to get out of here.
That's what it was.
Was one of the ones I saw.
Or he made some sort of reference to Josh Allen. But either way, something is off.
Yeah.
In that Buffalo locker room. So I don't know. I think Jets could squeak one out here.
Just one thing about that. I just looked it up. I go to Action Network. They have a lot of good history on. I just like their history. Yeah. They make predictions and stuff, and I don't buy any of that stuff. But they basically mentioned that Cincinnati has given up, besides the Giants and Arizona this year, the Cincinnati has given up the most trips to the red zone. And if you think about
Cincinnati
the Ravens are very good in the red zone, right? With Lamar Jackson. So that kind of concerns me about our pick, or at least who we favor early on in that one. But I still think the Bengals need it.
Yeah, no Thursday night bets, but we all like the Bengals. No Thursday night bets. Let's go ahead to our likes, shall we, Matt?
Yeah, let's fire away.
Why don't you kick us off? Because you had the winning week. Well, we both had winning weeks, but you were one better than me last week. So what is your first like for week 11?
All right, first like, I'll scroll down here. All right, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. Plus 1.5 right now after a big move today, as you saw Deshaun Watson ruled out of this game and out for the season.
Year, yeah.
Yep. So in comes Dorian Thompson-Robinson, stud at UCLA.
Isn't it going to be PJ Walker?
Nope, it's going to be DTR.
They're going DTR?
They're going DTR.
Why?
I don't know this. I will say I made this bet thinking it was going to be Walker, but I'm sticking with my handicap because I bet the Browns for a specific reason. I don't know. I don't love that it's DTR. I will say that. Look, Deshaun Watson's out, but this defense, I know we come on this show we talk about the Steelers. I've been on the Steelers the last couple of weeks. It's been profitable. I know we say throw the stats out, but this is hard to ignore. Cleveland, first in pass yards allowed per game, 151 passing yards allowed per game, just 84.8 at home. Okay, so start there. Cleveland 7th against the run, 91 yards a game. First in total yards allowed. They're only allowing 161 yards total offense at home this year, which is insane.
Yeah, that defense is really something special this year.
And then you have the Steelers. And I know we say throw the stats out with the Steelers. They do weird things. They win weird games when they shouldn't. They've been outgained in 9 straight games. They're 29th in passing. They literally can't throw the ball. 20th in rushing at 103 yards a game, 28th in total offense, 27th in yards per play. Like, from the stats, they are just brutal on offense.
Steelers have Bengals next week, by the way.
They have the Bengals next week. Kenny Pickett has just 6 touchdown passes in 9 games. I know the Steelers won earlier in the year. That was one of my likes, but it also took 2 defensive touchdowns. Do they get that again here? I don't see it. I like Cleveland in this game. Plus 1.5, just now that I'm getting the points with Cleveland at home, I have to take that, regardless of who's playing quarterback. I think the one benefit to DTR getting named the starter today is he gets a full week with the ones. The last time he played, he was named the starter that morning.
Yeah.
And again, he's thrown in against the Ravens. Good luck. This will be a different scenario. Still going to be a close game, but I like Cleveland to win close, so give me the plus 1.5.
And just to put it in perspective, this morning, at least when I saw it, the Browns were favored by 4, and then that news came out of Watson.
Yeah.
Went down to 2, and now they are dogs.
Yep.
DTR, huh?
Yeah, don't love that.
I don't know a ton about him, but why wouldn't you go PJ Walker? He seems like he can be a good game manager and keep them close.
He kept them in the Seattle game. He beat the Niners.
He's a winner.
He won. I don't know.
His career, he's over 500 for his career. My opinion on this, guys, I just feel like Pittsburgh has played, 6 or 9 games at home? Now they have to take that anemic offense on the road. I feel like that's just not a good – I feel like it's very square.
Yeah.
What, the Steelers?
Yeah, I think it's very square.
Yeah, I like the pick. Yeah,
like the Browns are sharp. The Browns are sharp.
Yeah,
I like the Browns.
Steelers have won 2 in a row now, and yeah, it feels like they're due to drop one, especially on the road here. And I just do not trust Pickett against that defense.
Another DTR thing is, we know about the pass rush for the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can avoid it or elude it.
Yeah,
and keep drives alive. Where if PJ Walker's looking to go downfield, that helps their pass rush.
Yeah, it's good. Good call out.
By the way, Joe, feel free to rip any of the. Not that you should rip that pick, but as we go on here,
I just throw in things to help.
Feel free to be like, that's a stupid fucking pick.
Yeah,
we do it.
Honestly,
do whatever.
I call it a lift shats.
There you go.
I love you, Dad.
All right, my first like here. I'm gonna look at the shitbag Giants. And I'm looking at that total there, under 37.5 between the Commanders and the Giants. These two teams consistently play low-scoring games. Their last matchup was by a final of 14-7, and that was with Daniel Jones. Now you got Tommy DeVito back there. The Giants overall, they are dead last in terms of points scored, and they are averaging 11.8 points per game, and that includes a garbage bullshit timeout last week with 6 seconds left to the Cowboys that got them to 17. Commanders, they got the Cowboys on deck for a big Thanksgiving Day game next week, and I think they're going to be saving their offense for there, and this is going to be a run-heavy game between Brian Robinson, who's looked phenomenal over the past couple of weeks, and sprinkle in a little bit of Antonio Gibson there, run some clock out. So just get the lead, grind out the clock, and this is going to be like a 20-3, 20-6 type of game for me.
All right.
First like there. Any thoughts?
No. I don't like anything in this game. I don't even want to watch it. Joe, you can comment.
I feel like the Giants next week have a big showdown with the Patriots.
Is it big?
Yeah.
Well, about the draft pick.
Oh, the draft pick, yeah.
And what was it? Back-to-back road games for Washington, right?
Isn't this home?
No, I'm saying they just came off.
Just came off.
Right?
Oh, right. Yes, yeah.
I feel like back-to-back roadies coming back home. I know you're playing. What's the line again?
The line is 6.5.
Divisional?
I believe.
9.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near the line.
Divisional.
Imagine having laying 10 with the Commanders, though.
But how many teams are back? We have to look this up. But back-to-back double-digit underdog NFL teams. How do they play back-to-back weeks? Last week they were 17.5. This week they could be 10. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just rely on fading that team every single time.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at the point.
I'll look into it. Maybe I'll tag you guys on it.
There we go.
Hey, better in-laws.
Hey, there we go.
I looked it up.
There we go.
Go check out our podcast.
All right, what is your next like here, Matthew?
All right. I'm going to do something that I really don't like to do, Tuck. You know this, but I am going to lay a heavy number with the Miami Dolphins. Give me the
people walking by.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, oh, it's Joe Murray.
What the hell?
And these Fishbowl Studios.
Let's go to Guy Fieri.
Exactly.
Guys is, by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
Matt.
please.
That's my go-to spot for pregame. Anything.
Trash can nachos.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't had the trash can nachos, but I've heard they're to die for. But, get me 3 tacos and a couple of tequilas and some beer, and I'm good to go. And it's not like a huge crowd.
They give you like this can, and they just stuff a bunch of like nachos and beef, and all this other, and then they just pull it up, and you're like, give it to me.
Yeah. I get. We're gonna do that next time. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys can play like some like heavy metal music, and all of a sudden it's just you pull the can out, and you're like, yes.
It's perfect.
Speaking of heavy metal, you see the tour buses outside?
I did see that when I was coming in.
Who's here? It's fucking Tool tonight.
Whoa, they were at Mohegan the other night.
They're at Manchester.
You're going
they're on
tonight,
tour.
right?
I was going to go. I'm not going anymore.
Oh.
I may have just seen Maynard outside. I'm not kidding you.
Are you shitting me?
I fought somebody who looked wearing like a cloak.
Was he about 4'11" and
the last time
balding?
I saw him, he was wearing a diaper playing the bass.
Oh.
We were at that concert.
Perfect circle? I don't know where we were.
No, weren't you at the Garden last time?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were. Yeah. We saw them before, yeah.
Okay.
In a suite.
Yeah, that was when their most Fear Inoculum just came out.
Actually, that was a really good show.
That was an excellent show.
They're one of the, it's weird, but when Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gets mentioned, how come they don't? Am I steering you guys off track?
No,
here?
I don't give a fuck.
Good.
No, like Rage Against the Machine belongs in for what they stood for something.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know why that's
they had
so long.
a rockin' kind of, I don't want to use rap as the word, but they had like a lyrical rock that was different, and they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Not political whatsoever.
No, not at all.
But Tool, like that.
Yeah, they need.
I don't want to say they're like. I don't want to say revolutionary, but
no, they are up there.
They had really long songs that hit hard, and had like every instrument was outstanding, and like
so
and the longevity.
Yes,
like I just all right. Sorry to go off track here, but
all good.
I would bet on them to go to the Hall of Fame.
Apparently, they have some new stuff they played
in.
My buddy went to the Manchester show the other night. He's like, new Tool. I was like, what?
Really?
I wonder how they feel about being in New England this whole entire week.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do to kill time, honestly?
Drugs.
Jeez.
Well, they're rock stars, right? What else do you do?
Actually true.
I don't know. I think he's, those days are behind him, don't you think?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he's all into wine and everything.
It's like we're on tour. Yes, let's score.
Yeah. Well, I saw the tour buses outside. I don't know if that was for their opener or not, but either way, Tool playing tonight. at the Garden. Matt, what was your pick?
Irrelevant.
What game were we talking about again? Washington?
No, this one's I'm laying 12 with the Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I don't like to do this, but it is a good spot to do so, in my opinion. Miami's coming off a bye, off a loss, going back home against a team who fired their coach, won 2 straight games over 2 terrible New York offenses, smoking cigars like they won the Super Bowl.
Twice now.
Twice now. I think this is just a dream smash spot for Miami. So I look at Miami, and they're a lot like Dallas of the AFC, right? We've talked about this. They smash teams that are not that good. And yes, despite the new moves in Vegas, I still don't view them as a very good team. I think there's too much offense here for Miami. First in passing yards per game, second in rush yards per game, first in both total offense and yards per play. Yards per play still at 7.1, by the way, which is extremely high. Vegas has to fly across the country to play in South Beach. And ultimately, Vegas struggles to score points every week. Despite having Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, they've scored 20 points this season twice, Tuck, and it's been against the Patriots and the Giants. If they can't get to 20 in this game, I don't see how they cover 12, because I see Miami in the 30s, no issue. I know it's a big number, again, which I really play, but I'm not going to overthink.
Raiders' defense has been surprisingly good, though. We got to give them that.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm off of this one. I think that the way they're playing and with the whole coach change, I think that they could keep this close. But it was very close for me. I will say that, but I ended up just staying away.
I took the Raiders last week. I really like what Bo Hardegree's doing. He was with the Patriots, by the way, 2 years ago. If you didn't know that, he left with Josh McDaniels. Imagine giving a young mind
why?
Imagine
the opportunity. With
no way. No chance.
But a 4th-round pick going on the road, I think that's a little bit different here. Yep. They've had their offense still is, although it's been better, it's still not great. And we just know that Tua carves up these type of defenses. I think it's a little square.
Oh, it's definitely
probably
square.
the right side.
It's definitely square.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the right side too. But Josh Jacobs, they could just pound him the entire day.
He had a fumble. I don't think I think he runs too high. I wonder if he got ruined. He fumble? He had he turned the ball over late in the game. They were about to blow. I think I know they're trying to get him more involved because he is one of their best players. But I think he needs to ramp back up too, because again, I saw him running a little too high, and for me, like when he's right, they are very good.
Yeah.
And I know they won last week, but let's see what the Dolphins defense can do against the run. I'd be interested.
Under Pierce here, the Antonio Pierce, he had 26 carries.
That's a lot.
And then 27 carries last week, both right around 100 yards there. So that could be the strategy. Just pound them again. And
keeps the ball away from Miami, too.
True.
Exactly. You got to somehow have control of that game, if that's even possible against this Dolphins offense. But maybe that's the approach they take. But nonetheless, that is Matthew's second like, -12 for Miami. My second pick, gimme the Lions home versus the awful Bears. The Lions are coming off of a massive team-lifting win in L.A. on a game-winning kick, one of the ones that we mentioned earlier. Justin Fields is returning for the Bears, but still doesn't matter for me. Justin Fields last year in Detroit went 7 for 21 with 75 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He did rush for 130 yards, but this is more about the Lions. It feels like the running game is absolutely churning right now. Add in David Montgomery last week. I expect more of the same this week between he and Jahmyr Gibbs. Last year in Detroit, Chicago was absolutely smoked by Detroit, 41-10. And oh, by the way, the Bears are 3-16 against the spread in their last 19 divisional games, and they are 1-12 ATS with their most recent 13 games in this trend. So this is an absolute smash spot for the Lions ahead of Thanksgiving next week. They're going to take care of business with the Bears. Lions -9 for me. What are your thoughts? Good. Okay, good.
No, just stay away. This week is like, I told you before, I hate this card. A lot of large spreads this week. Definitely the highest we've seen this year. I think it's right at the number. It makes the game Lions -9.
Detroit has 3 double-digit wins at home this season.
Who's Detroit have on deck?
They are
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
So they have a Thanksgiving game, back-to-back divisional games. They're just like the Eagles, if you ask me. They play prevent defense. They give up a lot of yards to average quarterbacks. I mean, if I think back on it, they give up. They played the Packers, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, they gave up 24 to Andy Dalton. They gave up. I just think they give up a lot of points.
Yeah,
that's why I'd be afraid to back them as double digits. I just feel like they're gonna like play a prevent defense, let them other team get yards, and try to hold them like they've done all year, just like the Eagles. So I'd be a little wary of laying double digits, but. The Bears were absolutely awful. The only other thing, too, is the Bears had a couple more days off, right? Playing on...
Thursday Night Football.
Little mini bye.
The only other really thing I look into that when I just... Divisional favorites...
The high number.
41-10 last year.
They clearly are the better team.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt about it. It's just they give up... Again, I think I just looked this up a minute ago, but yeah, they give up 38 to the Chargers, 38 to Baltimore, 37 to Seattle.
Yeah, but
I know those are good teams.
Very good offenses.
But the bad teams, Andy Dalton, 20. Jordan Love, I think he had 24 to Dalton, sorry. So I don't know. Can Badgett? I actually like Badgett.
It's Fields
back.
Oh, Fields is back?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it changed it all. Forget it.
I don't know if
is that a good thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
I don't think it's a good thing for the Bears.
Can you think about that? Like, they took Justin Fields with the, 10th, 7th pick? Whatever 10th. They had 10th pick?
Yeah, whatever it was.
And then you have Bagent, who's the Division II.
Shepherd College.
Unbelievable. And you're like, I don't know. Is it better to have Fields back?
I like the kid Badgett because he's trying.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Patriots unwillingly lose. Like, this kid's just not good enough.
Well, I said a couple of weeks ago. I said a couple of weeks ago, it's got to mean something that he's accomplished this rare feat of being a D2 quarterback.
I guess the Rams loved
him.
The Rams had him in and loved him, but they just couldn't keep him around, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's a kid that I think he reminds me like a Henneke type, maybe that type of quarterback in the future, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just seems like a complete blow-up spot for the Lions, so I'll take them in single digits -9 there, and that's probably going to move to 10 if I had to venture a guess. Matt, what is your third like?
All right, bud. Same game, different play here. We'll go to Seattle and the Rams. I'm taking the under in this game. 46 opened up at 44. It's bet up to 46. I think that number's too high. Of the last 5 matchups between these two teams, that number has only been hit once. It's a division game. It's the second time they're playing each other this year.
Yeah, and just a quick note, Matthew Stafford will return this week. I know they signed Carson Wentz. But Stafford will be returning off of the bye. Continue.
So division game, second time playing each other this year. I do expect a little bit more of a physical game from the Seattle side. They have a look ahead to Thanksgiving night against the 49ers, which is just massive.
And they're coming off of a shootout with the Commanders. Tough game last week, too.
A lot of energy in that game. They had to expel.
Mm-hmm. Who do you like? Oh, the under.
The under in this one.
Their offense has been struggling.
Yeah, their offense is not in sync. When they get to the red zone, they're settling for a lot of field goals. The Rams, I'm not to take away from your handicap, Tuck, because I'm sure this is a part of it, but the Rams have owned Seattle, right? And I think they know how to beat them. It's one of those things. The NFC West, as a 49er fan, I know very well Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. Sean McVay has had Pete Carroll's number, right? It's kind of how they rotate through. I just think the way Seattle's offense has been, I know Stafford's back. What's he going to look like? Little rusty, not sure. I just think the number stays under 46. I like this in the low 40s. So give me the under in this game. 40.
Well, let me just fire off my third like then, which is Rams +1. I think it's absolutely critical that Matthew Stafford's back, and this is their season. Their season is absolutely on the line right now. And you mentioned their success against the Seahawks. They are 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games against the Seahawks. You mentioned the Niners coming up on Thursday Night Football. Rams schedule ahead. You got the Seahawks obviously now, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, Commanders, Saints, Giants, 49ers. They can make up some ground in the season and maybe sneak into the playoffs. They have lost, 3 or 4 in a row now? No, 3, whatever it is.
They've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, I just don't see them dropping another one coming off of a bye week home against the team that they've had a lot of success against. So give me the Rams +1 here.
If this game was this is in LA, right?
Yes.
In LA, yeah.
So if this was in Seattle, I still think this would be the same spread. I don't know why. I just feel like this, they got the line right on this one. What's the highest total this week? This one's pretty high, right? 46, you said?
46. There was one.
Bears and Lions is actually 47.5. Raiders, Dolphins, 46.5.
This one screams to take the over.
Miami's at 48 too.
Okay. This one screams to take the over. I don't think so. Like seeing that number 46 team struggled, now gets their quarterback back. Seattle has been struggling, but got it going a little bit at the end. It would scream to take the over. I don't feel it.
Yeah. No, it's a great pick. I totally agree with that. And yeah, it looks like to the regular bettor that this is like going to be a high scoring game between, like we've seen in the past between these two teams, but no, it's a different formula now.
Just another thing to add. I mentioned that overs went 8-5 last week. Mm-hmm. Now the numbers are higher.
That's right.
Like
definitely are higher.
46, 48, those are high.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just feel like they're not good teams. It's still divisional. I don't know. Yeah, I'd go under on that one.
Yeah, so we have under and Rams +1. Matt's pick is the under. I'm Rams +1. And by the way, Kieran Williams expected back next week too. They need this win.
Who had 2 touchdowns in the first matchup. Cam Akers had a touchdown in the first. So you look at this, and they won 30-13 in the first matchup, but their 3 touchdowns no longer on the team or playing this week.
What is your fourth and final like before we get to the best bet?
The fourth and final like is a double like. It is our double like, buddy. Saw this in the sheet and love it. Very close to my best bet. It is Houston and Arizona. Give me the over 47.5. I'll just keep this simple, Tuck. I think this ends up at a shootout. Arizona's just a bad defense overall. We saw last week. I was pleasantly surprised at Kyler Murray. He looked pretty good moving around. The extra time off that they gave him.
He looked like he had no rust whatsoever.
Was crazy to me.
He was dialed in.
I thought he'd be rusty. He was not. They get James Conner back. That helps the offense. I know we always talk about how the Cardinals play hard, competitive. Well, now they get Murray back at quarterback, and their offense looks pretty decent. Trey McBride out of nowhere looks like a
big catch
stud.
He looks great. Rondale Moore, who I was telling you from a fantasy perspective, 8 targets.
Yep.
Marquise Brown, we talked about him. He's got to be thanking God that he's back there. And then there's Houston, who their offense has been on fire, 69 points in the last 2 games against Tampa and Cincy. Now they get that Arizona team coming to town. Houston averaging 27 points per game at home this year. I think they get to at least 27 here. 5-point spread, even at that, takes you to the over at 40 or 27-22. I think Houston lands in the 30s in this game easily. I think this game lands in the 50s easily.
Yes.
So I'm happy to get the 47.5.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans, they have posted 30-plus points in 2 straight games, but they've also allowed 37 and 27 points, and the Texans have gone over 30 points 4 times this season. That offense is really clicking there, and you mentioned Kyler Murray and his success. James Conner, don't forget him. He made his return last week, and the Cards have gone over their team total in 7 of 10 games, so love the over in the spot, 47.5. Double like. Any thoughts on that, Joe?
I would love to fade Houston in the spot. Off an emotional win, it's a letdown. It's a recency bias. You guys are talking
it's up to 5 now.
Guys are talking about the big numbers here. I mean, yeah, they're putting up big numbers, but at some point it's going to slow down. They're going to have a hiccup. I mean, I don't know if I want to back Arizona after last week's win. I not yet. But if I was to take a side right now, I'd be on Arizona in a tighter game. So I know you guys kind of like the over in this one. I just feel like both teams off emotional wins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both teams could struggle the next week.
Yeah.
True.
That's just a different angle. What do I know?
If I will say this, Joe, I did lean Arizona at the number. The Texans, as well as they're playing, I'm not sure I'm ready to lay 5 against anyone.
That's what I mean. This is the thing with Houston. Like, this would be a game that I try to get data on, meaning can Houston win back-to-back after winning an emotional game on the road, then playing again? Mm-hmm. I just want to know the data point. Is it worth backing Houston after back-to-back 30-point weeks, et cetera, after an emotional win? I want to see what they are, but I mean, is it worth maybe putting a MVP play on CJ Stroud right now?
I think it's worth a sprinkle a little bit. I mean, he's definitely going to get Offensive Rookie of the Year, bearing some sort of injury. But yeah, he's literally lifting that team up.
Who is the MVP right now? Like, if you had to say, like, give it to someone.
Probably Mahomes still.
I was going to say Lamar, but...
Lamar, fun thing.
Joe Burrow's still in the running, I think. Especially if he wins
Thursday
night,
big game.
Yep.
Lamar's had as many turnovers as touchdowns this year.
Is that true?
Read that the other day. I was wow. Didn't realize it.
Interesting. But no, I would definitely take a little sprinkle on Stroud. I mean, he's absolutely carrying that team right now. Just a quick note here. Did you see the Dolphins just move?
Did they?
13.5 now.
Oh, good.
What happened?
I'm moving lines. People
point-
are listening
a
live,
point
and
and-
we're moving lines.
Wait. 10 minutes
That's
ago it
crazy.
was 12.
It
Now
was
it's
12.
13.5.
All right.
Something might have happened.
What just happened?
I don't know.
While you guys look into that, I'll give you the MVP odds per DraftKings.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Jalen Hurts, the favorite, plus 280, followed by Mahomes. So maybe this weekend will have an impact in that.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, and we didn't even mention this name, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a favorite early on, right?
Can I give you an interesting one? What about a non-quarterback like Christian McCaffrey?
It's never going to happen.
It won't happen, but I got a ticket on him.
It won't happen. It's become a quarterback award. And right or wrong, that's what it's become.
He is so valuable to that team, though.
Who's more valuable to their team, Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot of
Tyreek
weapons
Hill
in
is
San
elite.
Francisco, and I mean, McCaffrey took the Niners to a new level. That's not
When they acquired him last
But look
year,
at the level of the Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill has made Tua like unbelievable.
I mean, honestly, flip a coin. There's such electric
a great
players, but
question.
I feel like the Dolphins could somewhat replicate what Tyreek Hill does a little bit with Jalen Waddle. Whereas if the 49ers lost McCaffrey, I think they're fucked.
I just think they throw another running back there and they figure it out, just like they throw another
Yeah, but
quarterback.
McCaffrey's a receiver too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, they made a big trade. They tried to get him that point streak or the touchdown streak last week.
Jags weren't letting that happen. I was like, get him out of the
Yeah,
game
how do you
as a
feel about
Niners
that?
fan.
Imagine
I was
that.
like, please,
He's
This
a
is like
Niners
Christian
fan.
McCaffrey.
Not to cross sports, but like imagine Porzingis being in a 40-point
exactly.
blowout.
It's exactly
What are we
it, Joe.
doing here?
Like, get him out of
An
get him off the
injury-prone
field.
player in the game late? What are you doing?
Not to mention the
Please.
play they called for the last attempt there.
Oh yeah, just
It was like a
firing.
fade at the pylon. We're
Everyone
like, what
knew.
could go wrong?
Everyone knew,
And he was
what
short.
was
It's
happening.
like Gronk being on the extra point, hurting his forearm.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're up by 30. What the hell are you doing?
I would have been furious.
PTSD.
Well, yeah, I thought that was very interesting with the Dolphins there. But all right, so before we get to the best bet, let's just run through the rest here and just give quick thoughts on non-likes, if you will. So we have the Cowboys and Panthers. Cowboys favored by 10.5. Point total in this one is 42.5. My gut says that maybe the Panthers could keep this close with the Thanksgiving on deck here for the Cowboys. And, they've had a pretty easy schedule with the Giants last week, and maybe they fall asleep a little bit in Carolina. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was leaning the under in this game. Not getting to the window either way. I don't want to touch this game. Dallas, they beat up on the cupcakes. Carolina is as bad as just about anyone other than the Giants with Tommy DeVito. But at home, they play competitive, good defense. I lean the under here. I don't know. I don't know if Dallas needs margin in this one.
So the look-ahead line for Thanksgiving Day is the Cowboys minus 9.5.
Commanders.
Already played the Commanders.
I'd fade Dallas this week. I'd actually fade every single double digit. And I'll tell you one team that I really like is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, well, let's jump ahead to that one.
Oh, I don't mean to get in there. I saw the 12 and I went, whoo.
Actually, you know what?
Lot.
Hold your thought on that one.
Yeah.
Hold your thought on that one, because that is a best bet coming up. So hold your thought on that one. So, yeah, if I had to lean aside, it'd be the Panthers. It's a total look-ahead spot for the Cowboys, but Dak is absolutely clicking right now with CeeDee Lamb. It's really something to see.
That Carolina team, though, I kind of like it. If it get to 10.5, 11, is that 10.5 now?
We get 10.5.
10.5.
Can we get to 11? I would look at that one.
Bryce Young looks so shitty though.
Dude, he has no one to throw to, and I hate to give that argument, but like I watched that team and
Thielen's not a number one.
But who is he really throwing the ball to?
Right. Yeah,
and does he have her? What happened to Miles Sanders?
Did you guys hear that
they're the best running back on their team? Hubbard's
what
actually
happened to
outplayed him. I know.
Yeah, I mean he got fat and happy with his contract, I guess. Miles Sanders. Did you guys see the rumor that they tried to get or kick the tires on both Devontae Adams and T. Higgins ahead of the deadline? The Panthers did?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Also heard they're interested potentially in Bill O'Brien to work with Bryce Young again.
How do you feel about Bill O'Brien, Joe?
We know how Joe feels about Bill O'Brien. He tried to tell Boston.
I'll just tell you right now. I told you so.
Yep.
I won't do a victory.
You were all over.
I won't do a victory lap.
Yeah.
One thing interesting, did you hear that Frank Reich might take back offensive play calling in this game? Yikes.
If Carolina wants to, they should call the Patriots and negotiate a deal.
For Bill?
Hey, we'll give you a conditional 6th-round pick for Bill O'Brien.
No, you're not going to see a coordinator trade. A conditional 6th-round pick.
Mid-season. Love that.
2026.
That's the shit you only get on better-in-laws.
2026. We'll give you a 6. Signed, sealed, delivered. But yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You know what?
That.
If I was going to ring a bell, I want the Panthers.
We don't have any sounders.
I want the Panthers.
We have no drops in the show. Maybe we should
give me the Panthers.
That.
They suck. They suck. They suck. They cover, and they'll probably win outright.
I know, right? This is
seriously. They're probably going to win outright this week. But hey, they still. I mean, do they want to give up their pick? Right?
It's the Bears.
I know that's what I'm trying to say. Is like you think about it.
Yeah.
What a shitty trade. Like you're in the line. Maybe they got their guy, and that's why they were desperate to go out and get a wide receiver at the deadline. You know, but like, man, they screwed up.
Well, no, if they still had their pick, they could have. Let's say they ended up with the number 1 overall pick. You could trade back to number 3,
Marvin Harrison,
and get Marvin
Jr.
Harrison Jr.
Boom.
There is your wide receiver. Now they're fucked. So there you go. Let's go ahead to the Chargers and Packers. Packers home dogs here, 3-point dogs. 44-point total here. This seems like it's do or die for the Chargers, or they're going to just curl into a ball for the rest of the season. That's just my hunch. If they don't win this game, I think they're absolutely cooked. And I don't know what the status of Keenan Allen is, by the way. He went down late in that game. Might play, might not. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I wanted 3.5 to take Green Bay in this game with the Chargers coming this way towards the east in November. Wanted it more than a field goal, so I'm off it. I also need a break from the Chargers. Tuck.
You've been betting them like.
But I smashed the over last week with the Lions and Chargers. That was the easiest over I've hit in a long, long time. But yeah, no, I want nothing to do with this game. The Packers are terrible, but at home, 3.5. I don't know, just away from it.
I'd go Packers in this one for the simple fact that the Chargers can't stop the run whatsoever. And just another thing too on this one, the Packers struggle so bad early in games. If they can get out to a lead early, I think they would run away with the win.
But and that's a good point, Joe, because there's not a lot of worse second half quarterbacks than Justin Herbert, especially
second half.
They are brutal. He's brutal. So
that's what I mean. If they can keep it close at home, run the ball, have a lead.
That's a good point.
I'd go Packers. But yeah,
Aaron Jones has been so inconsistent though.
But still, they're at home. They probably really want to establish that run.
It feels like it's a spot for Aaron Jones.
He at least looks healthier now. Like at least last week, I will say, at least he was. I don't know.
I thought the Chargers were going to go on a run though. And then they had that hiccup. So that still concerns me a little bit. 3 square, but I'd probably go with the dog.
Yeah.
Jets and Bills. Bills coming off a devastating Monday night loss, as we all know. They are still 7-point favorites. Home versus the Jets. Point total here is 39. If I had to take a side, I'd probably lean that point total as under for this one. But what are your thoughts on this? Because the Jets possibly cover this. Would the Jets possibly win?
I think the Jets could win, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to think about the Bills. I don't know what to do with them. I feel like they could explode at any time and go back to being the Bills, but at the same time, they have just looked terrible. Like, something's wrong. You know, this like a couple weeks ago, I loved Cincy. I knew it was the squarest play on the board. But, I mean, there's something wrong with the Bills.
James Cook, by the way, he is not getting enough criticism.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I know.
And that might be the play calling thing, but...
they don't run the ball. We talked about this. Can't. Like, they stop running. They don't even try. They don't run the ball enough. They're too one-dimensional.
Zach Moss is second in the league in rushing somewhere else.
Isn't that funny?
With the Colts.
Crazy, you know?
I don't understand that. So, I don't know. I'd lean the under here, but it wouldn't shock me if the Jets won.
Bills' offense is still decent. I know it's not great, but it's still decent. Their defense has got problems. I think it's the injuries.
They are banged up.
And just to tell you that, like, Mac Jones and the Patriots got to throw all over against them. Like, would you back? See, this is why, like, Saleh had a chance to go away from Wilson this week. He could have. He didn't. I think Wilson played as well. Actually, kind of like the Jets to win out. Now, this is if the Buffalo loses after the changes they made this week.
They fire McDermott.
He's done.
Yeah.
So in a way, that's kind of a motivating factor for Buffalo.
Speaking of Mac Jones, real quick, did you see Mark Daniels report that he took first reps at practice today?
I thought it was Zappe who took first reps.
So this is from Mark Daniels. Mac Jones took first reps of practice. Jesus. He was with David Andrews and that group. Bailey Zappi came on the field next. Zappe wasn't with Andrews. From our brief look at practice, Matt still looks like the starter. We'll see if that changes next week.
Yeah, Zappe got some first-team reps. Are we talking about the Patriots right now? I don't believe what those guys are doing anymore. So therefore, when I was there, I saw Zappe was better than, at the time, I thought Zappe was better than Mac, and the gap wasn't that far from Mac and Zappe. I got criticized for that, but you know what? I'm at the point where I don't believe what those guys say anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm team Zappe still.
I'm team get Mac off the field because it's enough.
And listen, I don't think they have any quarterback to be.
No, they don't. They don't have a quarterback on this roster.
But just if we're talking about draft picks and if you're going to bet on this one, I think if they play Zappe, they'll win games, or at least win against the Giants, and then
they'll
we'll
beat
see.
the Giants.
Yeah,
they're going to beat the Giants.
They're going to beat the Giants.
I have a question for you guys as Pats fans. Yeah. What about Will Grier? What do you think? Why not? I mean, at this point,
my take is I want to see him because you need a backup for next year. Yeah. You need to decide who your backup is.
He was very good in the preseason.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of these guys that might, how many quarterbacks have we seen that we're at one spot? He was with the Bengals, then he's with the Cowboys, and now he's with the Patriots. And it's like those guys who get that shot the third time around kind of perform.
Yeah.
So, and he's a gunslinger. If you watched him at West Virginia,
you're a college guy, you know
dude
that.
Could sling.
Awesome.
So why not?
Yeah.
Again, we've already seen Zappe and Mac and Malik. So why not that? But yeah, as far as when it comes to betting the Patriots, are they going to get a top 3 pick? Because if they get a top 5, no one's going to be excited about Olu Fashanu.
No.
Right? Or Joe Alt. So you need one of those top 3. So if I was betting the Patriots right now, I would try to bet them to get a top 3 pick. The other thing I would look at, and I actually wrote an article about this today on 985thesportsup.com.
Plug.
Wow, what a plug that was.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for all 3 people.
Well done.
there is betting odds on Bill Belichick's next team.
I saw that. I actually read this earlier, Joe. Nice job.
Washington's the favorite.
Seems like this picking up steam there.
Chargers.
But I heard that one today.
I think that's interesting.
So I heard
that could get legs.
Most people that I've talked to think that they're cheap.
That is, the
and
owner.
Maybe
that fits right in with Bill then, right?
Yeah, but
seriously, fits right in with Bill.
I know.
Point. You guys are cheap. Sign me up. I'm cheap too.
You're making me chuckle, but you're kind of right. Dallas has to be the team.
He loves the Joneses. Keeps talking about it.
And if we're going with Dan Orlovsky's take, if he's already got something locked up, Vegas has GM and coach available. So, is Washington going to go in that direction too? I don't know what it is, but the Saints were another team on that list. I thought that was interesting.
I don't see that.
They
Saints,
they need a change, bro.
Oh, they need a change. I just don't know if Belichick would go to New Orleans. They need a quarterback still. You need to go with a great roster, ready to go, and you're ready to win now if you're getting Belichick.
Like Buffalo is kind of a hidden team.
Yeah, I mean,
That's interesting.
It seems like McDermott's probably gonna run out of steam there, but
Belichick knows how to run the ball when they do it.
Yeah,
Bill O'Brien.
So, if you were a betting man, what would you take
for in what regards?
Bill's next team.
It's probably Washington, square as hell. Vegas is there. Dallas, maybe the Giants is a long shot.
I mean, they got the quarterback. It seems like
Buffalo's turnkey. So I was trying to make the case that Ken Dorsey would call the play, but maybe Joe Brady will.
Seems like that roster is about to turn over, though.
And they draft really well, though. He doesn't have to worry about all that,
Well, Washington just loaded up on draft picks. Keep that in mind, too. So he's got some artillery there.
A lot to move back.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that division's going to be tough to win, right? With Philadelphia's success, and you look what's going on there. Maybe they kind of need relevancy and, Joe Gibbs history, and we got the greatest coach of all time.
If Belichick's going to go, he's going to go to a historical team like Washington or Dallas, and that's it. He's not going to go to the fucking Chargers.
Listen, Brady went to the Bucks. I lost it. I didn't know anything. He was between the Chargers and the Bucks.
By the way, long shot, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
You think he can do that after Brady went there?
Oh, God, it would be funny.
Bill.
I'd love that.
I think Bill would care.
If I'm Bill, I'm following Brady's footsteps too.
Why not?
Well, anyways,
I can win here too.
We went off track on that. Was there any more games you guys had?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about
that.
that.
Bets.
I'm all about the
Welcome to the Joe Show.
Love that. Love that.
Vikings and Broncos Sunday night football game here. Vikings are on absolute heater, but so are the Broncos.
Yeah.
Broncos 2.5 point favorites here. Point total is 43.5. This one was, I can't get a read on this game. I cannot get any read whatsoever on this game.
I was close to taking Minnesota here. Looks like they're going to get Justin Jefferson back, but I don't want to.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not this week.
Based off of the way he was the coach was talking, it seems like the likelihood's going up. I don't know that he's going to be in. It's Wednesday. We haven't even seen practice yet.
You're going to put him on the road in Denver with that altitude?
What's that have to do with the hamstring? Not worried about it.
Amy's got to breathe.
Well. I mean, they're both playing well.
You got this is Justin Jefferson's spot next week. Home versus the Bears. That's where you deploy Justin Jefferson.
All right, that's fine. But I'll tell you this: they're two of the hottest teams, believe it or not. And at least we have a watchable Sunday night football game at this point. Because anytime I see Denver in a primetime game, I'm ready to write the NFL a letter. I'm tired of it. Denver and the Giants, just stop putting the Giants in Denver.
And Jets. And Jets.
They're ready for Christmas Eve.
I know. That game
That's going to be
going to be the worst.
Guess who's got to work that game?
Oh,
no, stop, Joe.
I'm going to talk about this until the game comes.
Well, can't they? Isn't that going to be flexed?
Dude, it can't.
Why?
They can't. I don't know. So that the Steelers game didn't get flexed either.
So that's a 8:20 game. Is that home? No, it's in Denver.
On the road.
Okay, how long can they keep you on that shift for, honestly?
Well, it's part of my contract.
I know, but it's Christmas Eve.
Long enough.
Santa's coming to town.
Wait, you think they care about Santa? You think anybody? I know other kids care about Santa. Do you think they care about Santa? Who cares about Santa?
You should.
That guy thought I was yelling at him.
He was taking a picture. He was absolutely taking a picture of you. Did you know he's taking a picture?
That was hilarious.
And he thought you were yelling
The
at
funniest
him.
part is there's no speaker outside, so this guy's like, "What the fuck is he
He
doing?"
was taking a photo, and I'm like, "Who cares about Santa?"
I'm sorry. Walks away.
By the way, the Broncos shouldn't lay points to anybody.
Yeah.
So give me Dobbs' sanity to win outright. Boom.
I like it.
Yeah, the Broncos have been a little too lucky, if you ask me. And that's coming off a big win in Buffalo. Obviously.
My favorite trend right now are the Vikings fans shaving their eyebrows for Josh Dobbs. I love everything about it. They got Dobbs fever.
Do you know Dobbs was with Dobbs, one of those guys I was just talking about, multiple spots, started the playoff game.
He was in Cleveland.
He was with the Patriots. They had him in camp and didn't sign him. Or last year?
Oh, last year.
They had him in camp.
Really? Oh, I don't remember that.
It might have been the Cam Newton year. Sorry. But he's in the last couple of years, the Patriots liked him.
Damn.
But yeah, he's been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And Dobbs was a pretty good player. What, Tennessee was he at?
Tennessee.
He's always been projected as an NFL quarterback, but now he's playing in a functional offense. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
But is this what the Vikings offense is, though? Like, do you look differently now at Kirk Cousins, or did he put up good numbers in a functional offense?
No, I think it's a very quarterback-friendly system under Kevin O'Connell. It's as simple as that. They got the weapons, too. So
they probably won't pay him. This
Dobbs?
is what I think this means. Is
Kirk?
like, yeah. Like, I think Kirk Cousins is probably going to get paid in the offseason because a team like the Patriots, a team like the Bucks, who have these one-year gap guys.
He'd be a good fit at Tampa.
Yeah.
That would be a really good fit, actually, with Evans and Godwin.
But can he play outside? I guess that's one thing I
think Evans is up at the end of the year.
Is he?
I think he was.
Oh, yeah,
he's
he was.
upset.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's going to be a free agent.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, he's just not. He's big. Like, do you want to pay a big receiver? I want to pay the shifty guys that can do multiple things. Like Keenan Allen. I know he's been injured, but like that guy's consistent every week. I'm saying Evans is better than Allen, but anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's head to the one of the best games, most anticipated games of the year, Monday Night Football. Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium, favored over the 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams coming off of bye. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites here. 45.5-point total. I think that total has come down a little bit here. Had to pick a side. Give me the Chiefs.
Andy Reid off a bye.
2.5.
Yeah, the totals come down. There's supposed to be some weather. We'll see. It's a little early in the week, but we're seeing some weather.
So you guys notice you give these picks out on a Wednesday or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like before.
That's why we try to get the podcast.
You try to get the number ahead
move.
before. Yeah, exactly. Does any of you guys ever change your mind? You're like, oh man, I went with them, and damn it.
Oh, well, every week.
It happens. Last week I came on. My loss last week was the Bengals, thinking Houston was stepping up in class. I'm like, they got T. Higgins back. T. Higgins pulls his hamstring in practice.
What'd you have it at? 6?
Great.
What was the number?
Six.
So, yeah, like I was hoping for an overtime and then a late touchdown just for the push.
Yeah.
But damn, yeah, they got everybody, huh? I saw some dude hit like a $250,000 bet on DraftKings, and
for the Houston
parlay.
Yeah, it was like the biggest parlay, same game parlay hit.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, he had the Texans to win in that one. But yeah, no, I lean Kansas City in this. If I'm taking the Eagles, I want 3. I just want to watch this game, and I don't want to have any money on it, and I'll probably bet it.
Yeah, that's the
Monday
thing for
night,
me too. Yeah,
it's.
I just want to watch it until I fall asleep at 8:45.
So I don't know if you guys can look up what the first half total is. The Eagles are the number 1 team in the NFL in scoring in the first quarter.
Okay, keep going.
So I would look at them as a first quarter team, and I would look at the Chiefs as a first half scoring team.
Half point for Kansas City.
And what's the total?
8.5.
No, I mean
first quarter.
So for both teams though.
First half. Doug.
First half.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought you said first
no, it's
quarter.
okay. But 8 points.
23.5 for the first half.
Over first half. Those teams are going to light it up early.
You think so? I think they're really solid defense.
Yeah, I'm just going by the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have been really good in the first quarter, and the Chiefs have been very good in the first half offensively. So, trendy, I'll take it.
Even if there's weather, potentially.
Sure.
Okay.
Because everyone's going to bet the prime time under anyways.
That's right.
That's true.
So give me the first half. Total goes over in the first half.
There you go. There's a Joe Murray.
If that happens, you guys need to post it, and Joe had it here on Better-in-Law.
Hurley, clip that one.
Clip it.
But if I suck,
yeah, we ignore it. We won't post.
But if I suck, go ahead, please bust my balls because it's what gets clicks.
Yeah, there you go.
Does.
All right, let's jump ahead to our best bets here, shall we?
Let's do it, Tuck.
Since, you know what, I'll go first because you're on an absolute heater with best bets, so I'll leave yours best for last here. Okay. I feel like I already regret this one because Joe kind of alluded to this earlier, but give me the 49ers minus 11.5 home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, listen, last year the Buccaneers, they went to Levi Stadium and they got their absolute asses smoked 35-7. I was impressed last week by the 49ers coming out of a bye. Both teams coming on a bye with Jacksonville here, and they absolutely laid a beating on Jacksonville. I thought that was going to be a lot closer than what it ended up being, but the Levi Stadium is going to be absolutely rocking. It's going to be Bosa and Chase Young show. I think they're going to make Baker Mayfield, who's been surprisingly good this year, I will say that, but I think they're going to make him incredibly uncomfortable in the pocket here and cause some chaos. And I think there's a little juice, too, with the McCaffrey touchdown streak coming to a close. I think that they're going to come out firing with him. I think this is a big Deebo Samuel game. The Buccaneers, they blitz at the 3rd highest rate in the NFL. It's kind of similar with the Jags.
How's Purdy against the blitz?
Very good.
Really?
You saw it last week.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he might know better than I, but look what Purdy did against a similar defense with the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, who also blitz at a high rate. So I think there's plenty of weapons, obviously, on the 49ers for Purdy to distribute the ball against the blitz. Give me the Niners minus 11.5. Oh, and by the way, the Niners are 16-3 ATS in their last 19 home games. 12 of these games saw a win of 14 or more points. And the Buccaneers versus top teams this season, in the Eagles and the Lions, they lost each by 14 points.
All right.
Give me the lines.
Trends.
There we go. Good trends for the Niners in this game, and they buried Tampa last year.
Now, Joe, you mentioned earlier that you don't like the double digits this week, so you would be on the Bucs.
I'm on the Bucs as of right now.
Fucker.
But you know what I would do, though? I'd wait. I want 12. You got 11.5. I want 12. But I think they're going to be like they're going to get a ton of money, the 49ers. Based off everything you just said, the blitz, the double, I just feel like the money's going to come all in. The 49ers last week, by the way, highest handle at -3, and it hit.
Yeah.
Books got crushed. Read a couple of guys, they said that was a tough week for them, but they did win on Cleveland and some others.
Right.
But in this spot, it's the Bucs. I don't know how you feel about it, but I hate taking teams that just won by 30.
Yeah.
And the next team, they're double-digit favorites. I hate that.
Yeah.
If any team could do it, it's this team, though, isn't it?
But they haven't yet this year.
Okay, fair.
They lost outright to the Cleveland Browns.
Here's the Niners fan for you.
They did it early. They did it early. They pounded teams the first 5 weeks of the year, just like spread didn't matter. They were just killing everyone. But the importance to the Niners is Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel. They need to be fully healthy
Which they haven't been during that losing streak.
During the losing streak, they weren't. But and now they're back. They're healthy. I told you, I took a deep breath when I came in. And I said, Jesus, Tuck, you had to take the Niners as your best bet.
I know you were going to hate this because I'm ice cold.
I just lean Tampa at the number. It's a lot of points.
Oh, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Look, it's a look-ahead, too, for the Niners.
bet the numbers, not the teams.
Thursday night, they're going to Seattle. Thanksgiving. That's a huge game. They're tied for the division. Like, just get the job done. I don't know. Just worried about. You get a lot of characters.
So put this in the back of your.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right.
Put this in the back of your old noggin there.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth between the Lions as my best bet and the Niners as my best bet. So have that just while you're watching the game. Be like,
that's why I didn't like either. I'm not because of you. Not because of you.
All right, Tucker's 3-2 for week 11. No.
So looking to snap my best pick. Best bet losing streak. So Joe, like I said last week. Niners minus 11.5. Best bet for Tuck. Fade. Follow the trend.
Okay.
I suck at best bets. Fade. The more you know.
Right.
The more you know.
The more you know.
All right. What's your best bet, man?
Best bet for me, Jacksonville Jaguars minus 6.5. On the contrary, I love playing teams that are good that got destroyed the week before. Now, what I don't like about this is Tennessee division game. Close to a touchdown, feels square, probably is square, but the Jags really struggle when they step up in class, and Tennessee is just not that. Tennessee is on their third straight road game with Will Levis starting at quarterback here. In the last two were not pretty for him or that Tennessee offense. The Jags, where you can beat them is in the passing game, and right now, Tennessee's fifth lowest team in the league in regards to completion percentage. They're sixth lowest passing yards per game at 185. The team itself, Levis, Tannehill, Malik Willis, whoever's playing quarterback, fourth most sacked team in the league. I think the Jags' defensive line gets after it in this game. The Titans are also 28th in third down conversions, just not great. On the flip side, their defense hasn't been good either. They're allowing 140 yards rushing per game in 4 of the last 5. The Titans have allowed 7th most yards to wide receivers this season, and they're banged up in the secondary, so I like Kirk and Ridley to have a big day. Look, I think one of the biggest things that we saw in the Jacksonville win streak was getting Travis Etienne involved in their offense and being the main focal point, and they couldn't do that last week.
Yeah, not at all.
Because the Niners jumped him so early. I think they try to get him going back quickly, early, often. So, yeah, I know the Jags need this one. They have Houston on deck. That could become a big game if they don't play well in this, and they can't afford to let Tennessee sneak up on them. Give me the Jags under a TD here. I will lay the 6.5 at home.
What's the total?
It is 39 coming down.
What's the lowest total on the board this week?
That would be the Giants Commanders.
It's got to be the Giants. Actually, no. Pittsburgh is down so much today.
Oh, wow.
It's like
33.5.
It's like Iowa.
Holy shit. That came storming down.
Give me the under in this Jags game. Jags are going to win like 27-3.
Yeah.
By the way, listen, I like what I saw out of Will Levis in game 1, and he hung around in game 2. He is not a good passer right now, and it's because of Tennessee, not because of him. But I just think the Jags will struggle also because that's generally what they do here. Under 40, anything under 40, take it. This one's going to be a low scoring game, and for all the people who love Mike Vrabel, what's he done?
It's good. That's a great point.
Well, he's not picking the groceries, if you will, right? Maybe that's what he wants. Because they fired John Robinson last year, right? Wasn't that what happened?
Yeah.
And Vrabel probably had strong input on that, so I wonder if he's none too pleased with this guy now. I don't know who it is now.
He was pissed about the A.J. Brown trade. I know.
Oh, how could you not be?
I was in Nashville staying at the hotel. I was staying at the hotel they were having their draft party at, and he came through the hotel late night just living.
You saw him?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I mean, it was insane. He was literally at the hotel we just happened to be staying at. It wasn't planning it or anything. But he was pissed.
Yeah, I imagine he would be.
Why back Tennessee at all here?
I can't.
Besides the fact that it's a divisional game.
It's the only reason.
Like you said, you'll keep it within a touchdown. That's respectable. But this game's going under. I'm sorry. And this isn't even a like for the Jags. Like I don't think Lawrence has been that great.
No.
I think low scoring, under 40, lay it.
Titans are 0-5 on the road, mind you.
I wonder how many points they've scored on the road.
That I don't know.
But man, Jags under. Yeah, just under in that one.
All right, so quick recap here. Best bet. 49ers minus 11.5 for Tuck. Fade. Jaguars minus 6.5 for Matt. Play that. Likes Washington Giants under 37.5. Lions minus 9. Rams plus 1. Double like Houston, Arizona over 47.5. Matt had Cleveland plus 1.5. Miami minus 12, although that is now moved to 13.5. So I don't know if we can still move forward with that.
Yeah, I still like it. And if it's under 14, I like it.
Are you seeing 12 anywhere, though? Oh, are you still like 13.5? I'm sorry.
Let me see. I'll look at across the board.
Because this did change mid-podcast, Matt.
Yeah.
So should we maybe amend that?
I see 12.5.
Okay, we'll take...
I see 12.5. It's a couple places. I see it...
Minus 12.5. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
12.5 is fine.
And then Rams, Seahawks under 46 for Matt for our likes and best bet. Joe, any final weird Joe show thoughts that I have become so accustomed to over these years? Because I'd love to hear it. Any musings you have you want to get off your chest?
Well, I will tell you guys this. I like this podcast. I mean that not because I like you, Tucker.
Oh, thanks, man.
But I think this is entertaining. I like the Bettor in law theme because you guys are obviously family now. But I think it is kind of good to get a different perspective around here. Like, again, I'm in this every day. So like, I got a bunch of other thoughts going on too. So it's hard to kind of focus. Like, look how prepared this kid is. He's got a spreadsheet over here.
You should see he has his own rankings, his spread rankings.
But it's consistent.
Very consistent.
You know what
Look
I mean?
at his best bets.
So it's like at least he's going by a model, which I think you should do when you go by a bet when you bet every week. Plus, bankroll management. I know we all talk about it, but like it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're sitting on the couch, there's nothing to do, and you're like, screw it, I'm betting them second half.
Oh,
it happens to all of us
daily.
The number one thing is to preach bankroll management. I try to. You guys don't do parlays or any of that, right? Or teasers of the week?
No, we don't give
out
any of that.
That's not profitable.
So I think this is going to be a successful podcast. You guys are in a great studio. I think you're backed by, I love the guys here at Card Vault.
And Big Night Media. Yeah.
And listen, I think this is fun you guys do the podcast every week. Might be worth getting different perspective every once in a while with somebody sitting in this chair. So I support what you guys are doing. For me, after tomorrow, I'm on vacation.
Yeah,
I could be the guy that worked on vacation.
I was going to say, what's that feel like, Joe?
I don't know, but I will tell you this, though. Thanksgiving, guys, a couple of years ago, I bet the entire board. First half, second half, totals.
Okay.
I was
going to say.
I went 11-0.
Did you really?
Holy shit.
I still have the tickets to prove it.
The best Thanksgiving
This was before
ever.
It was legal. Yeah. And but yeah,
Mr. Pickle.
I rolled. It will probably never happen again. I really mean that. But
that's not going to stop you,
so
though.
hard.
But on Thanksgiving Day, man, there's certain teams you just got to bet.
Now, did you do that live and as you went?
Gave every single pick out on the podcast, and then that day.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we did a podcast that day. Listen, it was luck. I mean, this is a lot of this is luck, right? Extra points here. Let me give you one that really got me last week. And I don't know if you guys talk about bad beats.
Oh, yeah, I've just seen it last week.
I had Washington -9 last week, and the dude returned the touchdown and then dropped it on the goal line. This is college.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, college.
Did you see the kid drop the ball before the line?
Oh, yeah, I did see this. Yeah, what a dope. That's never been done before.
I almost said something bad there, but yeah, let's just say that they didn't cover the spread.
They did not. That was bad.
You must have been screaming.
Yes. There may be a video from one bird out there of me yelling, "Run, run, no!" It's like Belichick when they lost the game. Just see, or if Kraft when the guy dropped the interception, his head just went boom.
Just dropped his head.
That's the thing that I'm not used to seeing, obviously. It's just Belichick just putting his hand over his face or Kraft.
So does this show have an official book yet?
No.
We
would like one, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're out there.
We would like one.
You're out there. We're happy to be sponsored.
We could use a sponsor of any sorts.
We can line shop today, but I would happily take a sponsor.
No, but if you guys, someone wanted to pay you guys to use, and I'm saying, this is open. Hey, man, this is a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys doing this for fun and pleasure.
There is some business element to it.
But, somebody bring in a book where you guys run off their lines.
I love
this
it.
Is a good marketing opportunity out there for everybody.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Joe. In these beautiful TD Garden studios here, we could use a book to sponsor us. And we would play your plays. Simple as that. Or give your lines. Give your promos.
I mean, there's only one right here.
Yeah, I mean, we have monitors. People walking by into the garden can see our monitors.
Imagine if you had like a scroll of like all the lines up here.
We could do that. Beautiful.
That would. It's a good setup.
That should be your guys' agent.
Yeah, there we go. We'll hire you, Joe.
I would do that. I can't pay you. I can't offer anything, really. I can offer you nothing.
What's going on with Uncle Beef?
You've retired.
Saw that.
Did you get your beef newsletter?
That's why he can't offer you anything.
Beef News Daily.
Sad.
Day.
43 years.
It was a sad day.
How did you see that? How do you even see that? Roast Beef Daily?
Right. Listen, I'll tell you guys, we got to go. I'm sorry, Hurley, back there, who's probably like, man, this is the longest. Is this the longest podcast ever?
For us,
hour and 16?
Yeah.
17?
That's all right.
Sorry, Hurley.
Terrible.
But I got to tell you this, since I've become on the night show now, the amount of people that reach out to me about food or hey, I saw this guy here, or hey, Joe,
you had some guy on last night, right?
Yes.
A food drop.
Yes. But all I'm saying is people like, Joe, and then some guy goes, dude, what happened? Hey, Tim's is closing, man. What's going on?
Oh, somebody reached out? Yeah.
Somebody reached out to me about it.
43 years.
They thought I would be emotional about it.
Uncle Beef.
And I am.
Man, Uncle Beef should have got another, made it to 45 years. I think we could have had something.
I'll tell you this, though.
Uncle Beef's pick of the week.
I mean, we've had this Uncle Beef pick of the week. We've had this conversation before, Joe, but why doesn't roast beef translate to the South Shore? You guys are two North Shore guys.
Yeah.
So again, I grew up 15 minutes down the street. There's no roast beef in that area.
Like, I don't see, I've been in the South Shore my entire life. I don't see any roast beef down there. Besides the Cape, Uncle Beef.
It's crazy.
I don't understand.
Why doesn't it translate?
What's that?
Where you live?
He said earlier.
Linfield now.
Where?
Linfield.
Linfield? Wow, we're almost neighbors. I'm in Peabody.
Oh, okay, nice.
Wow.
You should see his basement.
Yeah, it's like a man cave down there.
It is a man cave.
Wow.
He's got 5 TVs?
Oh, 3 right now. We downgraded 1 with the move, but 3.
Okay, so
one less spreadsheet.
You get 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 2 behind the bar.
We deal with the iPad's extra computer.
He's got his big screen with the sound bar, obviously, and then he's got 2 TVs behind his Notre Dame bar, and spirits and seltzers to go around for everybody. It's a good
Fantastic.
setup. Yeah.
Beef.
All right. Well,
that's it, guys. I don't know. That's it. I'm on every night, 6 o'clock. Check me out on the weekly spread, NBC Sports Boston.
I got you.
All right.
What is your Comcast hit on Friday?
NBC Sports Boston. It will be every Friday night at 6 o'clock. Myself, Tom Giles, Shane Vereen is on the show as well.
Is he now? Okay,
and
cool.
some others. So,
and you have a good record for best bets there too, right?
5 in a row, and you're going to have to stay tuned for 6 this week for my pick of the week. And we may have talked about it today.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And myself and Dan Lifshatz will have our college NFL.
Yes.
And he does the mornings now on Saturdays where I sleep.
Yeah, there you go.
And Kendra's now a part of it, who you guys should have on.
Yeah, we're going to get more. I want to get Dan on here. I definitely want to get Kendra on here.
You guys would love her.
Awesome. Yeah, I've met her. I've done the show with her a couple times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. But for this type of...
Yeah.
Imagine her sitting here with all these people walking out there.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like TRL. TRL. He'd be Carson Daly.
Oh, man. Well, you can hear Joe weeknights on the Sports Hub, obviously, from 6 to 11, and his Friday night hit on the weekly spread on NBC Sports Boston. You can follow him on Twitter, obviously, at Joey Murr. Joe, this has been a blast. Please come back.
Yeah.
Please come back.
Love to have you.
Would love to have you back here. And big thank you. I mentioned it earlier, but it's been an absolute pleasure to produce for you over these years. And I think you're the most relatable talent in the Boston market. And I think you're great.
Talent's a stretch, but thank you. And now you're putting your brother-in-law over.
What do you mean?
Now he's going to get over.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, who the hell's this guy? With the spreadsheet.
Who am I with this guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
knock on my door because I'm in Linfield.
For real, though, if you're going to put the work in, dude, that's the best way about it. Every week I can just look at a line and give you an opinion. If you're going to do the research, listen to this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joe, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Brother-in-law, thank you, as always, weekly here on the Better In-Laws podcast. Please follow us on Instagram at Better In-Laws. Soon to be TikTok. We got to get on that. Absolutely. Subscribe to us on Apple, YouTube, anywhere. TikToks. TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, we can have a black. I'm your agent. Let's get somebody in here.
I can offer you absolutely no money,
TikTok.
but please be our
How about Celsius? I like Celsius.
Yeah, there you go. What else do you want to plug before we go?
Nothing.
All right. Well, thank you again. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Joe, thank you. Matt, thank you. And happy Thanksgiving, by the way, in case I don't talk to you, Joe. All right? Okay.
Bye, guys.
The hosts that are not listening.